Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to create these notifications on your own business. We're going to start with the upcoming meeting notification telling you all the info you need to know for that meeting. One for the sales when you get paid, another one with an end of day checklist, and finally a bonus with a daily tracker. And I'm going to show you how to personalize everything so that you can put your own unique ideas on top of it. Let's get started. So first, I'm going to start with this call in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time you want it to have. And it's going to be done on make.com. It's very simple and straightforward, and I'm going to go do it step by step so that you can do it on your own. First, for this meeting one, we need to start with a custom mail hook. And if you're doing it from scratch, you're going to see something like this, where you need to click on the plus, select webhooks. If they're not here, just search for them. And you need to select the mail hook, because these will give us an email to send the notifications to. So we're going to click on ads, and then you're going to give a webhook name. So I would say just create one that you know exactly what it is for. So this would be like meeting notification, for example. I'm going to add video here so that I know. And then it's going to be an email that you can copy to your clipboard. And then we're going to paste it on our meeting scheduling platforms. So in my case, I use call.com. You may be using Calendly, or maybe you even use Google Calendar, and you need to set up an email notification reminder from Google Calendar. If that's the case, that will forward emails to this email that we just created. But if you're using a tool, for example, this one, we just put here the name like 5 minutes notification. Let's do 5 minutes. Which events we want to apply this to. Let's select all of them. And then here is where the important stuff starts. So we want this to happen before the event starts, and we're going to do 5 minutes before. And then the action, we don't want to send to attendees. We want to send an email to a specific address. The sender name doesn't matter for this case. And on the address, we're going to paste the one we just created. And before clicking send codes, we are going to, let's pull this here because this is how you would see it. We are going to double click or right click on this module and click run this module only. And what this will happen is it will run the module, and it will be waiting for something to happen, which is this email that we're going to send. So we click send codes, and if we wait here, you're going to see a message pop up, and this is the information received. So usually you will receive the date of the email, the subject line, the text, basically the body of the email, and then a bunch of other parameters that are not really necessary for now. So the first thing is, this is a verification email. We copy the codes and we paste it here and verify it, and it's done. If you're doing this with Google Calendar, instead of a code, it's going to be a link. You just click on the link and you'll verify that email. Once this is done, we are going to choose the email that we want to send. So for this specific case, I only want to send the event name, because my event names have the event type. So if it's a discovery call, a strategy one, sales, onboarding, it will tell me anything I need to know, and the name of the person that I'm going to meet. And so I pass that all in event name so that I only have one single parameter that I need to know. If you have more, or want to pass more things like the URL of the meeting, we have this, you can pass them on the email body. And I would suggest you passing them with JSON format. So you would do it like this. And then here you could put like URL and then add the variable of the location, for example. And then if you want to add more, you just add more here with whatever variables you want to use, and so on. But for this example, let's just use the email subject, which is the event name. Once you have this, you can just click save, and this will be ready, and then we just finish the implementation on this side. To finish it on this side, I'm going to show you the one that I already have here to make things easier. We need to have a request to send an API call, in this case a Slack API call, to send a message to the channel that we want to receive this notification. This is for Slack. You can use it for any other tool that you want to receive, WhatsApp, iMessage, possibly. I don't know, I've never done with iMessage, but Telegram is also one, or Teams, anything works. And this is the type of content that you need to have to receive that notification. I'm going to show you how to create these blocks and how to personalize the messages just in a bit, but let's go with exactly all the steps that you need to have or information that you need to have to make this work. First, the URL has to be this Slack URL with API chat post message. This is just their URL of their API specifically to send messages. The method has to be post. And here on the headers, we need to have this authorization header. And please copy everything exactly as it is here, because that's otherwise it will not work. And on the value, we have to have this bearer name and then add here the token for your specific app, which we will create in a second. Then we have the content type, which in this case, it will be JSON with the char set like this. And then on the body type, we select raw, JSON, and we put this JSON format in here, or this JSON message. And so this is just a way for Slack to know what messages to send. We have here a header. As you can see, it's like this more bigger and bold part of the message. And that I put here the emoji. So if you want emojis, you have to type them here like this. If you want to grab them with this structure, you just go to Slack, select the emoji you want, copy it, and once you paste it, you will paste it with the correct thing that you need. You give whatever name you want to this header, and then on this section here, which is a markdown section, which means basically the formatting of this text, I put event name and then the subject line, because if you remember, I just need that subject with the event name because I have what type it is and the person I'm meeting. If you want to pass the other ones, like creating that JSON format, you would add here some additional stuff, and we'll have to have a step before to modify the JSON or parse it. But for now, just for simplicity reason, let's keep it as it is. And we also need to know the channel name. So you go to the channel where you want to send this notification, you click on the get channel details and scroll all the way down until the channel ID, which you will copy and then paste it here inside. And then we are almost done with this specific one. The only thing left is we need to know what authorization token to put here and what's the app that we're going to use. So for that, we need to create a Slack app. You need to go to api.slack.com/app or apps, sorry, and you will have a button to create an app. You will give whatever name you want. You can add some pictures, but once it's done and created, you need to go here to the authorization and permissions, scroll a bit down, and go to bot token scopes. And here you need to add these three. So conversations, connect, manage, read, and write. You do that by clicking on this button. You can look for connect, and then the three will be here, and you just select them. Once you select them, you will either receive these notifications or not, it depends, but it will tell you to either reinstall or install your app. And so what you do is you're going to go up to the same page and click on either install to workspace name or reinstall to whatever workspace name you have. Once that is done, you can copy this authorization token and then go back into make and add it here in front of bearer. This is basically the token that will make your app join, your app send message to the channel. Before you can set this one up, or call it a day, we need to do just one slight additional thing. We need to add here this Slack module, and we're going to look for the one that invites users, because we need to invite this app into the channel that you want to send the notifications. So here on the channel type, well, first you connect with your account, then you're going to select if it's a public or a private channel. Usually it's going to be private, and you select which channel it is. Once that is done, you select the app. In my case, for example, it is. You're going to find the name of the app here. And once that is done, you are going to run this module only. And what that will do is you're going to see here a message saying your name, your account added or invited the app to this channel. Once that is done, you can delete this module. It was just for this step. And you can turn this on. So to turn it on, you save this first and then click immediately as it arrives, because we want this to run every single time you receive that email. So you put immediately, okay, and it's good to go. every single time you receive an email notification on that specific email and web workflow that you did here, you will receive the notification on Slack. Now, very quickly, how to personalize those notifications or those messages. You can go here to appslack.com/blockkit builder, and this is the page that you're likely going to see. You can clear the blocks here, and you're going to have basically an empty slate, and you can start playing around with it and creating your own message. So let's say you'd want to have the header, as I have, and then we want to have text. So let's add markdown text because we can do a bunch of cool things with it. As you can see, we can do bold, emojis, add links, etc. And then let's add also an image, because why not? You could want to add an image. As you can see, you can just, the sky's the limit. You can build anything. You can even put some buttons here. Maybe not this one, well, depends if you want, but you can add buttons like this. And if you click on the button, it will do something that's a different automation that you have to set up. I can do a video about it if you want, just let me know. But let's keep this simple. This is just to show you that the sky is the limit with these apps. You can really build anything. To change the image, you can change it here. You need to have a URL for that image. And then to change the markdown, here it is. They explain you very well how to put emojis, how to bold, how to cross things out, and even how to add links in this format. And once it's ready, you just copy all of this and you paste it into the content part that you want to send. One thing that you have to be careful though is you have to add a channel, because as you can see, there's no channel here. So you always need to add the channel ID that you want to send this message to. Now, this is the base for every single notification or message that you're going to send in this video, that I'm going to explain in this video, and also other ones that you may do in the future. So with that said, let's go into the second one, which is the end of day checklist. So as you can see, I have this one here. It's not exactly like the one we use at Scaling Studio, but I just came up with ChatGPT for this one. But it's pretty similar. It's just to send a message saying to everyone in that channel to, hey, remind them to do their own end of day checklist. So it can be updates to the clients, updating our CRM and our product management board, sorry. And then it just gets into the channel. How to do this? It's exactly the same step, or the same way as before. We need to create this API call for Slack. And one cool tip that I have for you is, if you already have one created, double click or click with the right button, click on copy module, and then go to where you want to have it and paste it. Why? Because then you don't need to copy paste or write everything again for the URL, the authorization token, content type, and even this formatting part. You already have everything there, and you just need to change the things that you want. For example, if you want a different channel, or change the blocks, depending if you go into that kit builder and do your own version of it. But it's much easier because all the other information is there already. No need to do that part here. Let me just show you how I have it on this side, which is exactly the same style. So I have a header with the end of day checklist, and then a markdown section with the message that you want to send. One additional thing that I have here is for doing new lines, you have to do it in this format. So it's /n for every new line you want. So it would be, if you want a new line from here to here, you do /n. If you want to keep a space, you do 2 n's or 3 n's, depending on the space you want to have. One last thing that is something that we use ourselves for this notification is this channel at. So basically, when you do this style for the exclamation point channel, all the channel gets notified, you know, that little channel notification for everyone, and everyone gets the ping that a message was sent. You can also do it for everyone if you want. For users is a bit different. It's an at, and then you have to do a user ID that each user has on their own profile. So if you go to their profile, you can see their user ID and you can put it here. But as you can see, it's super, super straightforward. Let's move into then the client paid notification, which involves one additional step. So to show you, it's going to be basically like this. We have payments exceeded. We have their company name has paid the invoice, the amount that they paid, and then of course we have to have some money picture to make it fun. So again, I bet you can already see how this will happen. in terms of the message. But before that, if you're using Stripe, for example, we need the Stripe module to be able to know that a payment was successfully received. If you're using any other application that is not Stripe, some other payment processing, just either check if they have the module here, and if not, you're going to have to do the same as Slack and do some API calls to be able to receive, and some API and webhook calls to receive that. It actually wouldn't be with this, it would be probably with a webhook again, but it's not a mail webhook, it would be custom webhook. So using Stripe to keep things simple, you add these Stripe watch events, you click add. So how you would do this, just to show you real quick, you look for Stripe, you want to have these instant watch events because you want it to happen instantly as soon as you receive a payment. So you click on it, and then you have to choose a webhook. So you click add, and then you connect to your own Stripe account, and you name this webhook whatever you want. For example, it would be, let's say it's invoices, so invoice paid. And for this specific reason, for invoices, we need to look for them here. Select invoice, click invoice paid and invoice payment succeeded, so that you can trigger it for both options when they happen. I'm not going to save it, but you would save it, and then it would appear like this. And then for the internal message, what you do is you have to map the company name and the amount that was paid if you want to pass those values. So there's two ways to do it. There is adding a metadata to their company name. So I don't have here the details because I didn't run the module, but once you run it to check that everything went right, again, by double clicking and click run this module only, you would see, let me put it here, you would see the information that you get from that run. On this case, it's not populated, but on metadata, you can add company name, their first name, and whatever you want when you create the invoice. And you can check also the amount paid, which is not here because, again, this was not run, but it's exactly like amount due. When you add it, you just come here, you select the variable that you want to add, and it gets automatically added here. Now, for the amount paid, you need to divide it by 100 because Slack works with cents, and so you always need to divide it by 2 decimal cases, otherwise it will be not the correct number. And it's very straightforward. Again, you add whatever channel you want. You may want to have a different separate sales channel for this stuff, and so you would add it here. And if so, if you're adding a new channel to this, always remember to invite the bot to that channel. All right, so that's how you do for client paid. One more thing, if you don't want to have this metadata or you don't know how to do it, you can do a different way, which is adding here a second module. So this would have a bit more operations, but I think that's okay. And you would look for the CRM that you're using. It can be ClickUp, Airtable, Close, anyone that you use. Let's say it's Airtable, you would go look for records, so search records. And the search criteria, I'm not going to add it here because I have to do a bunch of things, but the search criteria would be what is the email that just paid. And so you get the email, you pass the email on that search, and then you could map whatever you wanted from Airtable or your own CRM. You could map their company name and more details if you want to have them. So that's how you would do this client paid notification. And lastly, as a bonus, I have this daily tracker, which is exactly the same style of notification. You already have an idea. So it's a Slack message with a link for a form that I have. And this form is just a daily tracker. If you want to copy it, it's a nice idea. I've been doing it for a while. I record the date that I'm doing this. Was it a work day or not? What time I woke up and went to sleep? Did I meditate, stretch, and work out? How I'm feeling and how was the diet? The number of steps? How many deep work hours did I get? Phone screen time, outreaches or manual outreaches done, because the automated outreach gets automatically added to my reports. The number of DMs who replied back and from those who was interested, and then how was I focused today and how was my performance today, plus some observations. So if you want to copy this, go ahead. It's good to keep you on track and to make correlations after on how was your performance and did you generate more sales, more leads, etc. It's a very cool thing to do. And for that, you can do it in Airtable, Google Sheets, any other place that has tables. And once you have the link for that form, you add it here with that little formatting that you just saw earlier. And I always tag myself for this specific notification. So as I told you, you grab the user ID from Slack, and then the notification will be good to go. As you can see, this is how I usually receive it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's valuable for you and you can implement some of these ideas on your own. Also, this is a base. You can build a lot on top of this. So if you liked, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, because I'm doing one video per day every single day for this month. And it will be all around how to improve how to improve and optimize operations and systems for your business. So everything around automations, AI, and data. So if you like it, subscribe, leave a like, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.